Hey guys, Will here. Today I want to talk about Huap. Now, what's a Huap? Well, it's a person. That's his name. And this is a man who actually has his own YouTube channel. This is a online YouTube comedian. He has his own YouTube channel and he posts videos, funny videos. And he specializes in comedy for a video game called League of Legends. He does his own little edited 5-minute videos in his stand-up comedy type way. And he's growing slowly and steadily on YouTube, more so than I am. So why is his story relevant? Well, this is a man who followed his passion. This is a man who did a lot of things that most of us are too scared to do, who wasn't afraid of failure, and at a young age, he did something that a lot of these books talks about, which is follow your passion and don't be scared of failure and take a few calculated risks in life. So what did he do? He really loved making people laugh, and he really wanted to be a stand-up comedian as a career. And so he packed his bags, moved to a city, and did stand-up comedy at night. And then to pay for everything, his real job was a dishwasher. Well, that's not where the story ends. After quite a while of him doing this, he eventually didn't like it anymore. Why? Because he was literally spending most of his days washing dishes. He got to a point eventually where he was unhappy doing what he did. And long story short, he's where he is today, still trying to make it by and pursuing this new thing of comedy on YouTube, online. And he's starting to realize and peel away the layers and figure out what truly matters in terms of what he's passionate about, which is making people laugh. No matter the medium of how he's doing it, whether it's on stage or through the internet. You know, I've read a lot about Follow Your Passion, talked about it, read a lot of books on it, seen a lot of lectures, speeches, on and on and on from entrepreneurs, actors, actresses, people who have followed their passion. Even today, I just watched a video by, I think his name's Aaron Paul. He's the person who's the supporting actor for the series Breaking Bad. I'm sure you've heard of that series. It's won so many awards. And his story is very interesting himself. He drove down to California to make it in acting with nothing but $6,000 cash. And he went through tough times, a lot of rejection, and ultimately he eventually hit a point where he had to do what he called one of the toughest things, most embarrassing things of his life, which was ask for his parents to pay for 3 months of his rent. Lo and behold, those 3 months of rent were the 3 months before he got his role on Breaking Bad, and the rest is history. So this is a reverse story of Don Huap's, where this man actually did this thing and made it. So obviously we can get into statistics, and you're probably not surprised to hear that the statistics of the people who make it they're in the minority. They're like the 1%. I actually chatted briefly with Don Huap, and I don't think he'll mind me telling you guys this, but he told me that that for most stand-up comedians, they're not making a sustainable income from it. Only the top people do, and even the ones who get onto the talk shows like Conan O'Brien or Jimmy Fallon, oftentimes they're still not making it by or making enough of a living off of it, and they're using that as press and marketing to really get things going. I talked to some fairly successful stand-up comedians, and they revealed one of their trade secrets. And this is one of those things about hustle, about thinking outside of the box. For these people to make their money, what they do is they set up their booths with all their paid products, their CDs, their DVDs, outside of the exit to their event, almost at a point where you cannot even exit without going around this booth. So by doing so, you're almost forced to run into these people, and then they get the chance to sell you on these products. Hey, if you like my show, check out my CD, my DVD, please buy. So that apparently that level of hustle and smarts and positioning accounted for a decent amount of income and sales. Based off his statistics, even these people, they're making a decent income, but the people who are actually doing well and making a comfortable living off stand-up are apparently very slim. They're in less than 1% category. So what can I say about all this? Like, what does this all mean? Does this mean like you shouldn't follow your passion? Because this is a man who has apparently done something that most of us would fear doing. He threw it all aside, followed his passion, chased it with little money, tried to make his living, and after a while it just wasn't working. How many actors, and I say that in quotes, aspiring actors do you see in California who are not making a living off of it, but are waiting tables and then doing acting on the side? A ton. So what's the truth here? What should we do? What can be done about this? Well, if that is truly your calling, and if that's truly what you want to do and you're passionate about it, and you're competent at this, and not because of your own self-delusion, but because of objective feedback, whatever have you, you know that you have the competence or the potential to be competent and eventually the best or one of the best at what you do, whether it's acting, stand-up comedy, whatever have you. If you have the competence, if you have that passion and interest, then what's left? Well, you need creativity and persistence, because a lot of the successful people I've come across, whether it's Denzel Washington, some of the most successful actors ever, some of the most successful, richest directors ever, billionaire George Lucas of Indiana Jones, Star Wars, on and on and on. A lot of these successful people, their success, their first door, their first opportunity, Sylvester Stallone, it did not come in the first knock, the first year, the second year, the third year, the first audition, the 10th audition. I mean, I can go on and on. Harrison Ford. I mean, you get those lucky few who do, but most of them, Aaron Paul, whatever have you, they went through a lot of hard knocks, a lot of pains, failures, rejections, maybe even for many years, up to a decade before they finally got there. And so persistence is very important and so forth. I would say, however, there is a dose of practicality. So if you do get to a point where you are unhappy doing what you're doing while persisting, perhaps a little bit of creativity or practicality may be of use. Now, what does this mean? It means sticking with it, persisting, keep trying to make it in your field, whether it's acting, comedy, like Don Huap is doing, singing. But maybe some practicality is worth it. So maybe if you hate dishwashing, you could do something else. Let me give you two great examples of this. Harrison Ford and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold at the time, he had already won Mr. Olympia. He was the best. But he looked around at his fellow fitness athletes and he knew that this was a time period and age where no matter what you did, no matter how creative you were, it was close to impossible to make any sizable income through being a fitness athlete. And so even though he had this title, he didn't have the money. So what did he do? Well, he really wanted to pursue acting now. That was his new passion. And he took classes and he persisted in acting. And there's a huge story behind it, but long story short, he was told all sorts of stuff that he couldn't make it. So sometimes you can't listen to that stuff. He was told how, you know, the current model of lead actor is someone who's slim and very lean, and he was this big, weird, muscular man, and it didn't make sense, and no one would want him. And he was also told things like, your last name is too long and bizarre, no one will take you. And your accent is too weird, no one will want you to be an actor. And again, a lot of those weaknesses turned out to be his strength. And on and on and on. But here's where it gets interesting. He pursued acting, but he knew he didn't want to be like all the other actors or fitness athletes out, you know, scrubbing for money, looking for money. And therefore, he became a real estate investor. And so his practical job was real estate investing, which he liked to a certain extent. And he knocked it out of the park. He became a millionaire in real estate. Back when $1 million was a lot. He knocked it out of the park, and eventually his acting career took off as well. So there's that. I mean, again, it's an inspiring story. And all those things he was told, you know, were his weaknesses, turned out to be his strengths. The mechanical accent he had worked perfectly for the Terminator series. On and on and on. It gives me hope, you know, for any aspiring Asian American actors out there who are told you can't make it because you're Asian, or you can't make it because you're not the stereotypical muscular six-pack abs guys. Now, I'm not even talking Asian anymore. I'm just talking you who are considering acting, and you're not a six-pack abs type man who knows martial arts, whatever have you. It's just an example. Or maybe I'm speaking straight to you. Harrison Ford, same thing, similar thing. He was a carpenter by trade until his late 30s before his acting career took off. Now, he had been acting and doing it on the side for decades on end, but he wanted a real practical job, and he wanted it because it was practical, and at the same time, he had a wife and 2 children. So it's another great story. So that's also very important as well. So persistence, practicality, and creativity as well. Dong Huap is doing a bit of this. You know, he is trying new things. And creativity can be in terms of business, or in terms of entrepreneurialism, or just thinking outside of the box and following your passion, but in a different way. Okay, I can't do it this way. How about I do it this way? I like reading books. I can't make money reading books this way. How about doing it this way? You know, trying out new things. That's what he's doing now. He's trying the YouTube thing out. And again, as far as follow your passion, what you can see he's doing is he's peeling back the layers. He's realizing that he doesn't necessarily have to do it in front of a live audience. That would be cool, but ultimately what he wants is to make people laugh, whether it's digitally online or on stage in person. So that's really interesting in and of itself. That's all I gotta say. You know, I actually wrote out this 2.5-page word outline of you know, steps and things that you can do that will increase your chances for success. And I only picked out the ones I really felt were really helpful and I actually believed in from all the different books and resources I've read that have given advice on achieving success. So the deal behind that is I'm giving away that outline for free. Most likely there will be some way to enter your email in the description below. There'll be a link in the description. You click that link, then you type in your email, and then I'll send the outline to you. If I forget, leave a comment, or if it's not there, leave a comment and it will remind me. So I mean, that's really what I want to say in a nutshell. And again, that story really just made me think and ponder life. And I would say it's an interesting thing. And I do think, you know, these people ultimately are doing the right thing. Because we do have a system that really works the best and really helps you the best if you can follow your passion in a way. So that's all I gotta say. Hopefully this video helped. As always, like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Peace. Today we are going to be talking about this book. It's called #GirlBoss. Now, based off the color of this book and the name of the book, you can kind of be asking or wondering, why would you read something like this? Well, I have an open mind and I try and test out different things. And this book was recommended to me numerous times